Hi, my name is Martin Ball and I am super passionate about Enagic and Kangen water. And one of the questions I'm often asked is, why are you so passionate? What is it that makes you really want to share the message about Enagic and Kangen water? And the truth is that back in 2014, I went through a massive journey of depression. I was going through a journey of suicide idealization. I was hospitalized for my own safety. I was highly medicated throughout 2014 and actually was engaged, and I lost my partner at the time. That relationship all broke apart. I lost my house, lost everything that I had actually known, my job, my income, everything. And I was lost. I was trying to figure out what I was going to be doing. I really, in all fairness, didn't feel like there was any value to anybody or myself by being here any longer. And when I was at that point, actually, I've been in around the health industry over 20 years. And I happened to go to an event, and it was nothing to do with health. It was just actually an event where I met a guy from Sydney, and we got talking and found out we had a very similar journey around the health industry, helping people with nutrition and movement. And when he was asking me some questions, I was finding out that I was missing a very important link, which was water. Yet I had drank water all my life and just thought, in all fairness, like most people, water is just water. Well, he sent me 2 videos that evening and I watched them and instantly resonated. Now, I don't really make many decisions at all logically. I actually make them very much with my heart and gut. And I instantly resonated. I instantly knew that I needed the Enagic products. I knew that what I saw made sense. And if I continue to do what I was doing on a daily basis, that eventually it was going to create more stress, and illness and disease could eventuate from that. So I wanted to actually come from an angle of prevention. And even though I did have a lot of health issues at the time, my whole angle was, how can I reduce the level of stress to my body to help my body start functioning properly? Now, I decided instantly to invest in the Enagic products. And to be fair, as soon as they arrived, the first thing I started doing was doing the tests to make sure that I wasn't tricked on the video. And I was amazed at what I saw, to the point where I recorded it, sent it to my best friend at the time, and even my new partner. I sent it through and I said, look, it's real, it's truth. And they were like, okay, well, this is pretty cool. But my best friend for 6 months did not agree with drinking Kangen water because of doing all this research via Google and listening to wellness advocates and YouTube doctors and all these kind of people who just really wanted to share an opinion. And that's what I found when I started drinking the water. There was a lot of negativity online, but at the same time, I was thoroughly enjoying the water. Now, because of the TGA, the Therapeutic Goods Association, I'm not allowed to share what I experienced, and I'm going to be very much aware of that as I'm communicating this to you from an authentic space. So I'm not going to be saying about what the water did for me or didn't do for me, but at the same time, I am going to be sharing around why I'm so passionate. And this is what happened. I ended up sharing the water with a lot of people. They thoroughly enjoyed it and started buying water machines. And what happened was, over that time of the 6 months, my best friend, who I mentioned, he's very analytical. I call him Mr. OCR, over-compulsive researcher, because he wanted to research it all. And in all fairness, he wanted to prove that I was wrong. But at the same time, he was amazed that all these people were buying them based on their experience. So he was like, well, look at you and look at these people. Like this, I'm obviously missing something here. Now, during those 6 months, I was watching all these different testimonials on YouTube. I was watching all these videos and education around Kangen water. And I became passionate about the product and obviously how I was experiencing with drinking it every day, bathing in the Enespa Mineral Iron Bath Spa Unit water. I just had this level of understanding, and in all fairness, a purpose was starting to be created for me, because I realized that I needed to get out there and share this message. I needed to get out there and share the message of Enagic and Kangen water with people who are willing to listen. And this is exactly what happened for me. I just went out and just shared what I knew and shared the water with people and said, look, experience it for yourself, make your own decisions. Here's some information that I watched. It may help you, it may not do, but at the end of the day, you know, you can't lose anything from trying something. And this is exactly where it grew. And within 6 months of Dave actually realizing that he was wrong, in all fairness, because of the information he was getting was misinformation, it wasn't the truth. When he actually stepped in and started doing his own due diligence around the research and looking at why these people, whether that be doctors, whether that be nutritionists, naturopaths, dietitians, personal trainers, whoever it may be, even other companies, why were they saying these things? And he delved in deep and he found that in a lot of blogs, a lot of written literature online, they were using key Google ad search words to get them to get you to go to their website to then try and sell you their products. Badmouth Kangen water, badmouth Enagic, which when you think of it from a logical angle, when you start going looking at Mercedes-Benz, they don't talk about BMW. You know, they don't talk about Audi. This is the same, that everybody focuses on this is what we do and this is what we're good at. So he started to go, well, why are these people mentioning Enagic? If Enagic aren't that good, why would they mention them? And he started to actually shift to the point where he stepped forward and said, look, mate, I totally think this is something that we really need to get out there and share. And respectfully, you're not mentally stable enough to do so, but I can support you from the business side. You just get out there and instead of talking about nutrition and movement, start educating people on water. Start educating people on the truth around Kangen water, the truth around hydration. And he's a former England athlete of 8 years. You know, he's won European Championship medals, been to the World Finals and so on. So he had been around some of the top English sports nutritionists and sports coaches and so on. And that's where he had that level of skepticism. But he was like, these people at that elite level need to know about this. So what ended up happening was I created an educational company. I actually stepped forward and said, well, what I'm going to do, because my passion is so much around education, I'm going to actually go out there and educate the community. I'm going to share and do live testing and share what the information that I've got to help other people make an educated decision. And that's exactly what I started doing. And it was all for free. Everything that I ever did since February 2014 has been for free, whether that be giving the water away, all the hundreds of events, all the live testings that I've done, the conversations, the one-on-ones, the home demos, everything was all for free to really help empower the community. Because my whole attitude is when we are empowered ourselves, it's our purpose to go out there and share that information to empower other people. And that's exactly what happened to me. And I was totally amazed at the value that I was experiencing, but also that I was seeing from other people who I was fortunate enough to help, but also the people that I was hearing from when I did more of the research around that. So as I mentioned, it gave me a level of purpose, which then opened the door. I actually had a clear vision of, do you know what, this is what I want to do. And with the support of my best friend, I was going to be able to get out there and do it. And this is exactly where the ball really started rolling. And I don't mean Madden ball, I mean the ball that started rolling. And the focus here was that, in all fairness, I finally had a vehicle that was going to take me in the direction that I always wanted to go. And I was kind of going there, but this now gave me clarity. It was a true vehicle that's world class. You know, it's irrelevant what people say on the internet. The Enagic products are world class. I've spent 4.5 years since January 2014 at this point, researching. I've had so many people send me different companies' information, different stuff on waters, and I am yet to still find anything. I've researched, I've listened to these doctors who support it and why they support Kangen water, why they recommend it to their patients, why the American Anti-Cancer Institute recommends it to their patients, why all these other people who are extremely powerful from a level of education in their field talk about it truthfully from a point of understanding it. Like, the success leaves clues, and this was one of the biggest things that Dave learned, and I've learned more around it from a logical side as well, is that we have to listen to the people who are impacting the lives of millions of people in a positive way, away from, respectfully, but away from the medical industry. Like, looking at it, helping the body heal. We all know, and if you're listening to this right now and you're a doctor or a nurse or in the medical industry of some way, and you're feeling triggered, the reality of it is we all know that a lot of the medication out there is designed to suppress. So you have a headache, take a Panadol. You have stomach acid, take an antacid. Like all these things are actually suppressing and not dealing with the cause. And I was amazed at the fact that when I really stepped back and went, we're over 70% water. And yet most of us have no idea of the importance of it. Not just, we all know that we should be drinking water. Most people don't drink enough. But I was drinking about 4 to 6 liters of water a day. And what I learned was the quality of the water, not just the cleanliness, that's stage one, but the healthy aspect from reducing oxidative stress, reducing acidic stress, absorption to reduce dehydrative stress are massively important. And as I said, I can't share what I experienced because of the TGA rules, and I always want to remain and focus on being compliant, but at the same time, I was amazed at the stuff that I learned, and I knew that I needed it for myself, and I then knew that I had a vehicle that I could go and share that information and the truth with other people just like you. And it wasn't until I was actually invited to go over to Japan, to Okinawa, to celebrate Mr. Oshiro's 76th birthday. I was very fortunate to be one of the 400 people from around the world invited to go and celebrate that occasion with him. And it was only there I realized the true power, the true position, the true gift and blessing that I had by being aligned with Enagic, because at that event, Mr. Oshiro shared his journey, he shared his story, and it brought many of us in the room to tears, because it's such a heartfelt, compassionate story, and one that's driven from a place of love. One that's driven from a true place of love. And in that moment, I realized that I wasn't just recommending and selling water ionizers for a company. I was part of a man's vision. I was part of something that was actually moving forward to impact and empower the world in a positive way. And to be invited and be a part of that man's vision is an absolute honor. And it's something that, because of my own values, resonates so deeply with me. And that's one of the key reasons why I'm so passionate. It's fantastic to see people enjoying the benefits of owning an Enagic system like the Kangen unit behind me, like the Inespa Mineral Iron Spa system that I have the blessing of showering every day. I am so grateful for the products. It's a blessing to be aligned with a company that was established in 1974 and focused right away in Japanese hospitals to help people in the hospitals. But it's more of a blessing to understand that a man's vision to impact the lives of people all over the world, he's entrusted me to go out there and share that message with you, with anybody else who's willing to actually align with it. And I've become one of the trusted educators within Enagic. You know, I work very closely with Enagic Australia, and I know how valuable I am to them from a point of respect. I know that they respect me for who I am, and because of the level of value that I go out there and the commitment and the passion that I have towards Enagic and sharing the message of true health. And once again, I'm extremely grateful for that. And this is the most important part of the journey, is to understand that throughout the whole process, I never once focused on the money that could be created from me recommending Enagic. I focused on impacting the lives of other people. I focused on empowering them by putting the education and information in front of them and letting them make their own decision. Nobody can deny, especially whoever's gone through my YouTube channel, who follows me, that the information, the live testing that I do gives you the clarity to understand the importance of why you would need it. And this is why I've become one of the people within Enagic who's valued and respected as a distributor, but also an educator within the community, to help educate other distributors, to help support other distributors, to help them move forward in their life, because that's what's so, so important to me. And I know that when we choose to actually align with the mission, align with ourselves, align with what's important to us, that's when we can move forward. So this is one of the many reasons why I'm extremely passionate about Enagic, why I'm extremely passionate about sharing with you the importance of understanding the truth around Enagic and Kangen water. And I thank you for your time, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. And if you haven't done already, please make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell for when I post more valuable content. But once again, thank you so much for your time and taking the time to listen to me. All the best, and bye for now.